Are you? Tell your friends to tell their friends to join us because today I got a special convo. Today I got a special convo. All right. So I'm gonna give you the second to share the music, share the link, share the vibes with your homies, with your friends, with your family. We're gonna be chopping it up with the one, the only. All right, the man that goes by many names, Mr. Stephen Cat Coore. All right, Johnny Tiger. You know what I mean? The homies just call him Rye. You know what I mean? But you're gonna put some respect on the name. It's Mr. Stephen Cat Coore OD. All right, I'm telling you how the thing I go. And we got music. We got a lot of things coming up for you. But again, I know y'all are familiar with the album because if you're not, that big stone the way you're under, you need to get back on there because Matilda said the album is flames. It's fire. We chopped it up with AJ Brown. We chopped it up with Mr. Richard Daly. You know what I mean? And we're getting to sit down right about now, Mr. Stephen Cat Coore. So we're gonna enjoy that right now and just have a vibe. You know what I mean? A vibe. It's like that, ladies and gentlemen. It is like that. It is like that. It is like that. This is the intro. Uh-huh. You know, let me get rid of all the headphones. I'm gonna get right into it. Sir, Mr. Stephen Cat Coore, how are you today, sir? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Crystal clear, crystal clear, crystal clear, brother. Oh,
All
yes,
right.
everything good?
Yeah, man. So we could get this out of the way before we even do the conversation. Make sure you're taping. Make sure you're taping, right?
Yep.
Whoa, yeah. G Coore the ambassador. Hey.
Bang.
Whoa, yeah. G Coore the reggae ambassador.
I love it. I love it. Ain't nobody else got that, ladies and gentlemen. Premiere.
You do that after the interview. You got it already, bro.
I got it out the way from now. I love it. I love it. I love it. No, we talk life, we talk culture, we talk the whole thing, you know. And we always burn up bad mind, but word. I got little words I write about now, you know, the lovely area Trelawney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kicking back, chilling. So right. you must understand my bad mind right about now. Call it what you want to call it. So a little envious, a little jealous, a little bad mind. Because I wish I was there, but I'm not. Yeah. But at this moment in time, I can't excuse the bad mind, right?
Yeah.
All right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now we're talking third world. I've always stated my favorite band all time across all genres. As I look at you growing up in Ocho Jamaica, saw you guys. You probably never remember. You'd done so many of them shows, but came through Jamaica Grand at the time was Mallard's Beach Hotel. I used to be there almost every day. Guys came through. Musically speaking, you know, at that time, sometimes you're accustomed to what we call a reggae band coming through, 4 pieces, you know what I mean? Guitar, bass, drum, keys, and a singer doing them thing. But when you guys came through and played, that was the first time I saw what I deemed big band. That's what I saw on TV. The only difference is I heard reggae coming from the speakers. You know what I mean? The way you guys delivered. I've seen multi-instruments. So one person playing, that's yourself playing cello, touching all kind of things. I say percussions, the whole nine, like a real setup that I had not necessarily seen on stage with my own eyes. And we're talking about the band Third World. So I'm starting from the beginning. Talk to me about how that band Third World came together.
Well, it's really one of these situations where you're growing up. All right, so I get this question all the time. So I'm going to give you like a synopsis, a historical synopsis, which is that pretty much I grew up in a musical family. My mom was a music teacher, and she is a bunch of my inspiration because she noticed that I would walk around in a circle when she play her music, and when she take off the needle off of the thing, I used to stop walk. And she found that extraordinary. I was only 1.5 years old. So from that time, she kind of set up a thing. Now, her whole life was music, and she's the one who really, you know, inspired me to, you know, to get busy with the music thing. And I was in piano lessons by the time I was like 4 or 5, but it didn't seem to be working. And she used to play this album by a cellist named Pablo Casals, and I used to be very, very inspired by it. She could see that, and so she sent me early to play the cello. And by the time I was 10, 11 years old, I was like picked as one of the guys who could be a great cellist and this and that and the other. And I mean, I don't really, I mean, to be honest with you, it was just a situation where for me, I was just kind of like just playing and enjoying playing, you know, but it was going from good to good. And when I got to the age of about 11 or 12, I started to really listen to the music that was coming from across the gully, the sound system. It started move me, and from that I start really getting to, you know, like the Scatterlights and Rock Steady, you know, and them kind of thing there. And I really start get the groove of the thing, and I started to realize that the music that I had studied was just the prerequisite to what you like as a person.
Right.
So, in other words, and I'm saying to young people that, you know, you might be listening to dancehall now and you might be thrilled by dancehall, but if you let that be an opening to listen to even folk music or classical music, you'll find out what music is all about. It has no boundaries. It has it's a universal language. So in other words, then a Rastaman a carry a green banana up on top of him head in a Trelawney could be singing a Barbra Streisand song.
Right.
Yeah, so we need to figure out how we deal with that. You understand? And that now is how the whole third world thing started, because I started to go and listen to Inner Circle. I fell in love with a different kind of music to what I was playing in classical music. And you know, I started to really get into it, and just so happened that I was able at the age of 13 to get obliged to join Inner Circle. And I did. And the only reason I could do that was because I used to go and listen to them so much that I knew all the songs they played. And I was able to take over the guitar position, you know. And I would like to be thankful to Roger and Ian for that, because basically they put their trust in me as a kid. You know? And, you know, they didn't have to do that. They could have they had options. They could have gone for other guitar players and so on. But they gave me a chance.
Right.
And basically that chance turned into 4 years of absolute joy playing with them.
Wow.
And, you know, there came a time when it's not that we broke ranks or we had any kind of disagreement or any kind of whatever. But I just felt in my heart that, boy, right now I wanted to be somebody who was writing his own music. And I was very influenced at the time by Jimi Hendrix and the Monday. And I just really got totally into just doing, you know, what I wanted to do.
Right.
Okay, you can play a tune, Bridget, because I'm battery low and I want to plug in.
Yeah, man. Now I got you.
All right, mate. I'm coming right back to you.
Absolutely.
That goes with the coming and going of the tides.
Featuring some tunes, ladies and gentlemen.
Seizes everyone.
The album is called More Work to Be Done.
Gauge high.
The Grammy Award-winning album.
Sets every sun that
Cool, no man.
and every moon that shines. I feel like a winner.
I want to take a minute, of course, to big up everybody in the room right about now that's watching. And Carmen, what's going on? William, Cindy, everybody. All right. I appreciate y'all big time. Thank y'all so very much.
Loving you is easy. Cause the way you make me feel.
It's called Loving You Is Easy.
Loving you is simple. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Big up yourself, Carmen. What's going on? Charmaine, how are ya?
Baby, with your
I
body.
want to lodge up all the massive and crew in Antigua right now. We got Hawaii in the building right now.
On and on and
What go on, Clive? What go on, fam?
on and on and on.
Elaine, how are you? I say if you don't have the album, man, and if you can find it somewhere, if your friend have it, if it, make them buy another one. Cause it's worth it. I mean, don't bro the store or nothing. I ain't trying to send you to jail, but you know what I mean, if the homie got a copy, you gotta snatch it. When I said the thing solid, it's solid as a rock. Nah, that's crazy. Electronics and Third World. And I'm just skating through the album, ladies and gentlemen. We think proper. At the end of the tonight, we're gonna get into the whole nine and let you hear some more. Or you stay. So Clive Wagwan, Polly, what's going on? Welcome. Again, tell your friends to tell their friends. All the people listening in on the radio right about now, I appreciate y'all big time also. All right. We're having a conversation right now with Mr. Stephen Cat Coore, OD. I'm gonna put the OD on it, you know what I mean? Some spec on the name. Yes, sir. So you were giving us the early, the history, the legacy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna come back to you now. So basically, when the time came, and as I said, I was really into like Jimi Hendrix and Santana and everything. I kind of discovered rock music, you know, and I got into it big time, and I said, boy, this is what I want to do. I want mix rock and reggae. And I was looking really at a three-piece band, you know. So I spoke to a breaking of mine, Colin Leslie, who played bass for a band called The Visions. And I just said to him, I put it to him, and he said, boy, I don't really thank him for this, but because what he actually did was he just gave me the inspiration, in other words, to believe in what I was thinking as such a young person, you know, who wanted to start his own group. And that belief helped me. And then Carl Barovia and Milton Hamilton, who were also in Inner Circle, they believed in the whole idea as well. And you know, in those days in Jamaica, you had some very established bands. You had Barley and the Dragonaires, you had the Vikings,
right?
You know, Children. Them man, there's some serious man. And Inner Circle was a band who was knocking at the door of them man there because they were very professional from the start. Had good equipment, and Roger was a great businessman and leader, you know. And Ibu Cooper was in the band, who was a great musical leader. So, you know, it's like it's one of those things that was a natural thing that happened. Right. And I just really was like just happy to be a part of it for being so young. And we did Jamaica Festival with Eric Donaldson.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And that's kind of like the first song that I played on recording wise.
Wow.
In a studio.
How old were you at this point?
It was Cherry O Baby. Cherry O Baby.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was a moment for me. But you know, as I say, right now, the whole thing with the Third World thing was because I was just figuring to myself that it was time for us to write. I wanted to move in a different direction. Funnily enough, after I departed from Inner Circle and went to and got the whole Third World thing going, Inner Circle did the exact same thing. So I think it was a natural progression that all of us musicians at the time in Jamaica were going through. And it was just a natural progression for us, really. I mean, it was a kind of thing where you have to imagine that if you start a group, you're not Bob Marley and the Wailers that have 5 or 6 tunes before that hit. So you can go to Chris Blackwell and you can come out with Concrete Jungle and Slave Driver, all those new songs, right? Because you already had Trenchtown Rock, you already had Duppy Conqueror, you already had, you know, Screwface, and you had songs already unknown. You had some heat, right? Now, for me, and for all the people who were in Third World at the time, we had no such thing because we were always backing people up or playing cover songs. So this is where I'm showing you where the whole thing, the whole energy was now that how we're gonna make that transition. And as a band, we had bills. We had got a loan to start the band, to buy equipment and all that. We had to pay that back. So we had to balance it between playing top 40 material and playing at dances and playing at, you know, this and that, and then playing on a stage show. Say, for instance, back in Burning Spear, which we did, you know, things like that. We had to do that because we had to still make some money.
Right.
So even though we were writing our own material, we had to figure out how we're going to exist. And this is how we did it. And what happened was that we started doing all these songs like Delphonic songs, Harold Melvin and Blue Note songs. We started to do Billy Paul songs and stuff. And it just so happened that myself, Ibu, and Prilly at the time, we were natural harmonizers. I would always sing the top, Prilly as the lead, and Ibu on the bottom. We were natural harmonizers. And Ibu was very skillful at that. Ibu knew how to organize harmonies and stuff because he had that same classical training like myself, but he had a little more experience than me when he came onto the vocal thing. So we could do that kind of thing, and that was what really propelled us and made us very popular in Jamaica. Very popular. And then now, what was the next step now? What we're going to do from there right now? So we played in Kingston at a place called Epiphany. And the manager of Epiphany, the owner of Epiphany, Evan Williams, he just was with us kind of like on a management side of things. And he suggested that we go to England. And that's a whole nother story. But we were able to pull it off, and we went there. And, we slept on our brethren's floor, his apartment floor. And he had a basement downstairs, and we went down there, we rehearsed every day. So we were getting really sharp, but we were getting sharp at our own music. And we were getting sharp at being like really very, very prolific performance. We got into performance. And we got a few gigs in England, and we got one at a place called Gillies. And Chris Blackwell came there, saw us, and that therein started the career of Third World, because we were approached to sign a record deal for a very, very, very modest sum. But we were going to get all our recording bills paid. So to be honest with you right now, when I look at the modest sum, I think to myself, wow, you got all the recording bills paid. Remember in those days, everybody didn't have a studio. Like now, everybody has a studio, Pro Tools. Everybody has them Pro Tools and there. Exactly. In those days, it was not like that. You have to wait till the man line up the machine and a 24 track you have. And if you want to take 2 tracks of this, you might have to go bounce a track and all them kind of things was going on. So we were very fortunate in a way still. And while we were developing that whole relationship with Island Records, Bob Marley was coming over to England. And Blackwell said, hey, why you guys don't got open for Bob and set that up for us? So he set us on a terrific thing that led to just probably one of the greatest experiences of my life. This was like the first time I was going to experience like a rock stage, walking onto stage as a rock star was the coolest thing. And not only that, but opening for Bob Marley, who I always knew would be one of the greatest superstars of all time. From my first day I heard him, I was so taken by him and so in love with the brethren. And boy, let me tell you something, I wasn't wrong. I picked a good horse. And this was something great for us, G. Cole. This was something great for us. And after we did that stint, then we went and we were in the process and we recorded our first album, which is the Green Album with the Lady and the Donkey. And it about Satamasagan, Slavery Days, Brand New Beggar, Freedom Song, them kind of tune on it. That what I just tell you is how we got to that first album. It's 47 years, so to tell you each era, it will take a long time. So I'm gonna throw back the ball to you now, sir.
No, for me, I'm a lover of I love the rearview mirror, because I always look at it and say, you know what, for me to understand why you do what you do, the way you do what you do, I kind of have to have a concept of where it's coming from. And speaking to all the people that have been in and around the Third World, the one thing that always resonates is this synergy vibe. It's music, it's culture, but a lot more than that, it's love. You know what I mean? For people who Again, to me, it's like I said, inner circle is almost like the mothership. But to in a day and age where people can't coexist right now, to see you know, there's still love. You know, when I talk to them, oh, it's love. It's like a family still, and it's something that I truly appreciate. So give thanks for the stories, because I always try to catch up. We have a brand spanking new album out, which is a Grammy nominated. I'm gonna get to that. I see some people are sending some things, but you know, I'm a historian, man. I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to catch up. Now we talk about Bob and the influence he's had on you and others, all of us. You saw Junior Gang. You saw him grow up, you know, to be the person who he is right now. I asked this question to Richie. I asked this question to AJ. I'm gonna ask it to you. What was that vibe like, seeing the kid that you watch grow up now spearheading and producing this amazing album? More work to be done for you and the band Third World.
Well, it's very special for me personally because Junior Gang and my son are best friends and they went to school together. And, you know, that whole energy in terms of the friendship and the love between the two of them is something that is just, I mean, it's, you know, it's just a part of all of our history. We can't do nothing about that. You know, I have to tell you that this was something very special for all of us when Junior Gunn said he wanted to produce his uncles and do the album. And Richie and myself decided that we're going to give him a full run. In other words, we were not going to make any decisions. We were going to make him make all the decisions, which was a very good thing that we did because he would have had it the other way.
Right. I got you. It's proper.
Yeah, thanks for the light, Frederick. Thanks for the light. Yeah. It's a get dark in Jamaica. So anyway, you see me G Code, you see where I'm coming from.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, right now, when you really consider, you know, the greatness of not just Damian, but the whole Marley family is quite extraordinary. You know, I mean, you have to look at the fact that these are, you know, the kids of one of the greatest human beings probably of our lifetime. I mean, when Bob Marley said, "The man got tired for seeing my face," the man knew exactly what he's talking about. And I go all over the world, Israel, Japan, all over the place, and the man all over the wall, all over this, all over the shop window, everywhere. So, I mean, you know, and he's a poster child of Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? He's a poster child of Jamaica. And, you know, all his kids are like sons. And I really mean that. And it's with the greatest of love and respect for Damian and for what he did with this album because, you know, not only, it's not just a production, it's the writing of the songs. He's so instrumental in the inspirational value of all those things. And that to me is a key in the whole deal. And Steve too is a tremendous influence on this record. Even though he wasn't there day by day, but every time he passed through, his commentary and his love and his, you know, and his suggestions and his things, just they knew exactly what they were doing. You understand? They knew exactly what they were doing. So
absolutely,
for me, as I say, it's a great moment because it's someone I know from very, very small, and also from the fact that I got a chance to work with him as a grown man. You know, God granted me that, you know, and that's also very special. That uncle could really work with Damian is very, very special. And work with my son too, Shia.
Right.
You know, for me, it's not something that I would have really envisaged from early, even though it's not something that would have been impossible, but to see it where I could play with my son playing bass and me playing and singing, you know, or me being there and Damian say, "No, Uncle Cat, you had a better guitar earlier. Try get back the one where you get earlier." That to me is just right now, you can't buy that.
You know, I always wonder, you know, we do what we do, and we have our children coming up, and they emulate us, they admire what we do, and sometimes we don't even know that we're inspiring them a certain way. We don't know because we're just, you know, I consider it this way: you're in the office all day, you're in the trenches, this is what you do, so you don't even realize sometimes the inspiration you have. How is it right now to sit down or to stand up and watch Shia, right, doing what he does? And he's not the only son you have on stage doing what he does either. But just to watch your boys, your kids on there doing what you've done for so long on those major stages that you've traveled for so long. What's that feeling like for you?
Well, it's a feeling of joy. You know, it's one of these things whereby it's kind of surreal. So you sort of just kind of say, boy, and accept it and say, well, boy, you know, you kind of, I kind of try to put the blame on my mommy, you know.
Blame Mom Dukes for it. It's not your fault.
I'm trying to see if I can get mom involved in the whole thing because I know she would have been very proud and she would have really, you know, she would have been extremely into everything that's going on. You know, it's just a pity that she never got to see them. You know,
Right.
but what can you do really? I mean, that's why I say that sometimes the spirit is greater than the flesh because I know my mom sees them. I know that because she's the one who planted that whole seed, she set the whole thing up through me. And I know, honestly, in my heart that, you know, oh, death, where is thy sting? Because believe you me, my mom died many, many years ago, but there are many, many times where I reflect on her and say how much she would have enjoyed to just see those two boys playing. And to see her two granddaughters too, who are wonderful people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just life, and you don't know G Code. We're in a situation now where, you know, I mean, we don't go Jamaica here, and it is just like we don't know from day to day. Nobody don't. There's nothing happening. There's no gigs happening. Nothing is going on. You know, and more and more every day, we find that the money that we use gets to be worth less and less because we don't have any tourists coming in. We don't have any, you know, remittances and stuff like that. So we're going down. We're going down in terms of our value, in terms of what we use in the market and spend. We're going down in value there.
Right.
So it's a scary time for all of us, you know. I mean, people keeping elections still, you know, and I keep elections still. I
Yep.
mean, up to you, brother. But I can tell you that I mean, I'm not seeing for another maybe optimistically I'd say maybe sometime maybe in spring next year we might have some kind of new world order. I don't know. I mean, this seems to me like a reset of some kind. So
Yeah.
you know, it is it has it have a twofold to it. One side it's like you can concentrate on doing something for yourself, you know, or you can concentrate on writing some songs, or you can concentrate on doing something for yourself like that. But at the same time, you can't do all the things that you really did before. I mean, my whole life was being personal with people, you know, being on stage and greeting people. Hi, you know, what's going on? Cat, sign this book for me. Do this, that. You know, that just came to a screeching halt. I know, I mean, you know, this is the summertime. I would have been in Europe. You know, would have been over there having a blast. We'd have been doing festivals. We'd have been doing what we do to be who we are and to make sure that we can put food on the table for those who are ours. Right now, we can't do nothing like that. So we're grateful still for life, you know, G Code.
Yeah.
Grateful still for life, you know, and it's very great for me to be on a show with you right now, you know, because at least I'm able to express these things to you, and I'm talking to somebody who gets it, who understands what I'm saying, you know. But
Right.
as the song says, I'm out there feeling lonely, but I'm not the only one
Right.
because all the musicians in Jamaica are feeling the exact same thing that Cat Coore is telling you right now. Trust me on that one. So,
and across the world, it's funny you mentioned that. And this thing called music it's so profound, because I was having a conversation today with somebody near and dear to the band, myself, about the album. And every now and then, not too often, but every now and then, you come across a body of work that captures a moment so well. This album came out 2019, but here we are in this crazy time, 2020, Corona and everything else. And as I go back and listen to the album, it's when we're talking about Corona, we're talking about racial tensions, we're talking about police brutality, a whole bunch of things, just inequality, you know what I mean? Minorities feeling just degraded right about now. And as we listen to the songs, it's almost like you wrote these songs after the epidemic, after the crisis, and so forth. You know what I mean? Does it feel that way to you?
Hear us out. Check out Hear Us Out. And look at what with the Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So, yeah, you're absolutely correct. It's almost like the album is before its time, kind of like it a pre the thing we're gone.
Yep.
And and as I said to you before, I have to really give enough thanks and respect to Damian for the way more how he deal with him thing and the vision where he must look on and the things that he really want to say, because now give uncles them no rubbish for singing, You understand?
Listen, no blind around here.
No, do that.
Yeah. The album itself to me is the musicality of it. One thing I did a little bit of a math when I first listened to the album. You have some features on here, right? There is the math kind of works out to be about, let's say, 45% of the album captures some other entities and some other voices. In my catalog of music that I normally listen to, anytime I come across an album that has that many features, it not normally capture the essence of the band. But when I listened to this, I was like, I don't know how you guys did it, but I almost feel like the songs with the features, if I didn't have those features, I'd be missing something. How did you choose? I asked the other guys and they give me a simpler answer. How do you choose who you want? Because this body of work is, how do I it's pretty much the first, right? So what was that experience like trying to even put together, okay, who am I going to feature on this album?
Well, once again, I go back to Damian because basically there were a lot of ideas thrown around as to who would be good, who would be, who would suit what song and so on. There was a lot of chat and a lot of talk about that. And at the end of the day, we came up with the cast of characters that we came up with. And I mean, basically, to be honest with you, I really don't have any problem. I mean, every single one of them are artists that I think are out of the top draw. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I didn't have any problem. I mean, Busy Signal, incredible. Pressure, top draw, Tessan Chin, Taurus Riley, you know what I mean? Chronics,
yep.
And not to mention Damian himself. So, I mean, this was like really a kind of like almost like a natural thing, but of course the captain of the ship, Damian, was the one who was able to draw all those elements together in such a positive way. And not only that, but I mean putting together, the way in which they were featured then. Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The way in which they got featured was good synergy between ourselves and Damian in picking the right points, picking the right people, and as you say, I mean, I have to say that boy right now is one of the wickedest album I ever hear. To be honest with you,
I won't say
it's bad till it can't bad no more.
It's put it this way, and I'll go back even to when the chat of Grammy comes around all the time. When it's a part of the culture too. I remember when we were talking about the albums that were submitted for the Grammy. And my analysis of it was pound for pound. If, anytime we come to things we have vote on, it's politics anyway. You don't know that go already. But when it comes to pound for pound, the value, what's in it, I felt like it was the heaviest. You know what I mean? If we're putting it on that musical scale, it outweighed all of the competition. No disrespect to anything else, but just when I look at it song for song and just the weight of the album, I said to myself, I even said to the guys, what was amazing about it is, most people don't put out this good a body of work this tenured in their career because they put in so much work they can probably go in a cruise control. But this tenured in your career, you're putting out such an excellent body of work. That, to me, to be perfectly honest with you, was something I found amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, give thanks and praise for your, for your eloquent words, sir. Um, I, I'm very humbled and very pleased at your comments. And I must say that I've had, I mean, to be quite honest with you, I've really felt that, this was a very special achievement by the band.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's one of these things whereby my nephews and nieces and kids know all of the songs on this album, which is something that is not regular for a band our age.
Right.
You will put oh, Uncle Cat, I heard your album, this and that. But when them come and start singing the tune, if you're out there somewhere,
Yeah.
it has a different feeling to it. And I think that is something that the band can be very proud of. And yeah, I mean, as I say, the next way forward is that we're looking to really get back and do some more work. There's more work to be done, as the album says. And we are looking forward to when we can get back with them. And we don't really know how this thing is going to really play out because basically at this time, it's a day-by-day thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what is happening worldwide and watch everything that's going on and so on, I happen to be in Jamaica that, I can't say that people say, boy, I'm glad you're supposed to glad you don't know theater. I can't really say that because this particular thing that is on the world, it takes no prisoners.
Nope.
So don't matter if you say you're in Jamaica, you're in the safer than if you were in Manhattan. It's just how you personally deal with your thing. That is basically how the thing really a deal. And also what sort of physical condition you're in and how you approach life. But I mean, pretty much it's one of these things that, we don't know when we're going to be able to go back to Miami to record with Damian or, or the rest of the group is going to be able to come down here. And I've seen my brethren for so long and, it's a bit depressing sometimes, I have to tell you. And based on the economic value of what we do, right, and where we are now, it's kind of frightening. And I quite honestly have not heard from the powers that be here because they came out with a big statement that they're going to help musicians and all of that. But I haven't heard anything yet. But I'm not saying that nobody's going to come forward. I have great faith in the current Minister Grange. I think she's a great lady and all of that, but I just want her to let us know what she's thinking. She's in election now, but the musicians that I know, all through Jamaica and stuff, I'm not sure how they're gonna deal with it in terms of like recordings have gone down. Yeah, well, there are no shows, that's for sure, and recordings have gone down somewhat. But man still a record still. Mm-hmm. But recordings have gone down a lot. And the whole business of entertainment has become a little bit funny. So hence when I'm on a platform with you like this is like a new vision that going forward that people can tune in and enjoy a conversation with me and you like this. It's a new way we're moving down a different kind of road and it's going to take some time for all of us to get used to. And the common musician, I don't want to call anybody common, but the common musician just like me, um, we'll find it hard because we can't do what we are accustomed to doing. You understand what I mean, G Code? We can't do
Absolutely.
what we're accustomed to doing. So, but I mean, as I say, we're hanging on and we're doing the best we can in terms of writing, recording, thinking of ways in which we can come to you through
Mhm.
the digital platforms and we can be in your house like I am with your viewers right now, and God bless every one of them, because I know all of them the same thing, because I can't tell you anybody that I've seen in the world that's avoided this. I
Right.
can't, one person, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm. One of the few things, and that things happen all the time, but you don't see it taking a grip on the entire world. It's almost like the world is at a standstill, and it shows the vulnerability of not reggae music industry, but the music industry at large. Because, like you said, we're at the point right now where the revenue stream is coming more so from the performances, unlike back in the day where it was an equal mix of the performances as to the sales. Right now, we're in a streaming era, and the streaming era accounts to very little. You know what I mean? In terms of when you bank the amount of streams it has to be for it to be worthwhile at all. So I say that for the masses listening to say, listen, I'm cool with the streaming and the whole nine, and it's cute. You know what I mean? But the album is up there for sale. Go buy that. Yeah, and there's nothing else in my eye and my ear that you can spend $9.99 on and have it forever, or $9.99 that's worth this. The last thing me going to the store and buy $9.99 for didn't last me a week. You know what I'm saying? So
Thanks
go
for the pitch,
get the
Frederick. Thanks
album.
for the pitch. Work with me, baby. Work with me.
I love it. No, here's the thing. No, I also realize that you are a man that know your way around the kitchen and have some chefins and some chefins and some chefins. Go on. I need you to talk to me a little bit about Johnny Tiger, the chef, because who knows? Maybe there's a cooking show coming. I don't know, but I hear say you're wicked in the kitchen, and talk to me a little bit about
Yeah, but bad.
that.
But how it goes is that I learned these things along the way,
Hmm.
People like Bonnie Rhodes taught me a lot, and I'm a keen observer of people that know what they're doing in the kitchen. I'm a keen observer, and I've always been fascinated by what it is that you do to get certain things done. So when a man bring out a dish and it's a lobster with something, a fire blaze off it and all that, I mean, regardless of whether I'm allergic to lobster or not, it is attractive.
Yeah.
I want to know how the hell you do that, and I also love, to eat the things that I love. So I always am very, very enthusiastic to acquire the knowledge
Right.
of how those things are done. So basically, I just acquired that and store it. And then I started to try it back myself. And I realized I could do these things. These things weren't hard,
Hmm.
And so that's how I really learned how to cook and about the kitchen and about how to deal with heat and how
Wow.
to deal with the freezer and how to deal with frying pan when it's hot and how to deal with it's things that you really need to learn along the way. You have to love it. It's like music. You have to love cooking. If you want to be a good cook, you have to love cooking. And you have to love it to the point where you appreciate other people's comments. Because somebody might not like what you did and you can't get abrasive over that. You have
Right.
to
Right.
just love it and work with it. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. If you want to invite me on your cooking show, I'll be more than happy to oblige, sir.
We're gonna make it happen, man. The Johnny Tiger cooking segment. We get the cameras down there. We're gonna get some stuff on because I know the people. Here's the thing. One, people always assume say men don't know them we're on the kitchen. Two, them always assume say okay because Mr. Johnny Tiger up on stage I do him thing. When him come off, all them are gonna do I call the butler and tell the butler say forget the chef and the cook for sort out the thing. So they probably don't expect you to be a connoisseur in the kitchen. So we're gonna get the cameras there and we're gonna show them. You know what I mean? We're charging my arm and a leg per plate, but a different something that. So, but we're gonna make it happen.
Anytime, brother, anytime.
No, again, we can't go get away from the album. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna drop the artwork up here so the listeners can see it. But the album is called Homegrown. so the masses can see the artwork when it comes to it, right? You are there as the musician, you're there as songwriter, you're there as artist doing it all. So sometimes I feel like sometimes we're so close to the fire that we only have one vantage point. That day that you all decided, okay, the album's done, it's ready for the world, and you decided to listen back to the entire project, start to finish, because even song placement makes a difference in an album. So you may have heard the songs, track 1, track 10, track whatever. When you sat back and you listened to that entire album, the whole thing in its entirety, from track 1 through to 11, what was the feeling? What was the immediate feeling that came to you?
No, man, I felt that we had done something extremely good. I thought that everything had been done absolutely well. I thought the choices of where the songs came, the selection of the running order was absolutely perfect. I thought that the mix was out of the top draw. What I was listening to was a top effort by a band who has been together for many, many years. I mean, the current band, I can't really say that we've been together that long, but the brand has been out there for a long time. And what I heard was the producer's skill. I heard myself and Uncle Richie's willpower to do this and to make it happen. Mm-hmm. And then I heard performances by people who were so committed to what they were doing that it turned out that this thing was absolutely top draw. And that is what I personally heard when I listened to the album down. And it's one of these things where sometimes people say, well, boy, can you pick a track that you like or whatever. With this particular album, I can't really do it. I don't really have a lot. I'm not really, every one of them is up on a level. I really love Loving You Is Easy. I love that a lot. And Sheep in Meadows and Third World Keep Turning. I mean, those tracks jump at me immediately. But every single track on that album is first class. And, I'm very proud to say that. And I'm not saying it with any, I'm not saying it looking for any reproach, because everybody knows I'm talking absolute truth. And the work is, the body of work is there. Whoever don't know it good yet can listen to it. And it deserves the Grammy nomination that it got. And we're very appreciative of that. And we know it's going to live on for many, many years, because songs that we record in that kind of mode, they'll go away, they live forever. So, I mean, Try Your Love lives forever. Now That We Found Love lives forever. 96 Degrees worse. So, I mean, this crop of selections that we did are going to live forever. And that's the most important thing to me. That's what I live for. That's what I've lived my life for. And that's what I, see as being what is important to an artist, is longevity. After you are gone, long time and dead and gone, your music must live on, and people must love it, and people must say, "Ratted boy, listen this, listen this Chubby Checker tune, listen this Sam Cooke tune, listen this Scatterlights tune," That those are the things to me that mean, or if somebody read, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times,
Yep.
The writer might not be around, but the work lives on.
Yeah.
And that is where I'm blessed, because I'm able to be in a business where I can do that. I can leave something behind for my kids that is tangible, and it's called music. I'm very blessed.
Right.
And I mean, just even to be here talking to you today is a blessing to me. So, I mean, there's not much more I can say. I mean, my comments earlier on, I just want you to know that I'm not saying that, boy, the musicians are in a dark spot right now because of this thing. We are, but we're very, very thankful for who we are at the same time. Right. We're very thankful for who we are. We're just in a problem now, but we're very thankful for all the love we got through the years, all the blessing that the Father has given us. And we're dead, man. We still have make music, and we have plenty more work to be done. plenty more work to be done.
I love it. I love it. And John works in mysterious ways. There's always a silver lining. I do hope people take the opportunity right now in this, what I'm going to call downtime, to really soak it in. Times move so fast nowadays. Sometimes I wonder how artists and musicians like yourself stay inspired in a time right now where things are just moving so fast. But the little slowdown we have right now, it's an opportunity for people to soak in the music. It's 11 solid tracks. I want to say great. I mean, great. You and the band have managed to, over the years, not just make hits, because I feel like hits are determined by the masses. Sometimes whatever mechanics can be employed behind the scenes, but that thing called classics is not something that everybody have been able to accomplish in a career. And you guys have classics. And in 2019, going into 2020, I think you added 11 more classics to it. You know what I mean? So what I would love to know is this. When you go, or when this album came out and you went on stage, because you know how it feels when you go and you crank up 96 degrees, right? And you crank up Committed and them kind of songs. You know the response. You've been getting them for years. So when you go on stage and you started cranking up these new songs from this new album, what was the feeling you got from the audience out there?
There was a change. It was usually when we come out with an album and we play the new songs, it's always a situation where sometimes you're in the dressing room and you talk and you're saying, boy, should we put a new song in this particular set because we only have 40 minutes and the people want to hear the songs that they know. But where this particular album is concerned, Loving You Is Easy is the first one that we really played, and the reaction was really, really great. Mm-hmm. Based on that, I mean, to me, that's an indication that, you know, the album itself is of a certain level and a certain quality. And it has moved from there, but it never got a chance to really blossom fully because we had to, from March this year, we had to stop all our stuff. So it didn't really get a chance. But people really love the songs and love the album. And as I say, just want to really say, give thanks and praise once again, for all the work and all the love. And I mean, if you do something and you do something, you're proud of it, you know what I mean?
Yes.
There's not much more you can say. You're very proud of it and you're thankful and you're humbled by all the praise that everybody's throwing you. But at the end of the day, boy, you're just happy that you did something and you did it well. That's the most important.
I love that. Now, all these third world albums, I have some on CD, I have some on vinyl from back in the day. I was telling Richie one time, say, my father listened to, I grew up with a lot of R&B stuff, a lot of jazz and a lot of pop stuff in the household. Very few reggae stuff. Most of my reggae influences and came from my brother. But the only reggae album that I saw my father with was the third world albums. So, it's that in itself to me was something special because, like I said, he's not really dialed into reggae like that. No, when I look at the albums, what's different with third world pretty much is it's not just the music is there, but before you open the package and you look at the artwork, it brings you into a zone because something special is behind this. And this is a 2019 release. We're talking about modern day thing. The artwork, though, I know we always talk music, but the artwork to me drew me in right away also. And it was right there in terms of as stellar as all the classic album covers from the third world albums. Talk to me a little bit about that album cover.
Well, that's exactly the point. I mean, the whole idea was to get back that vibration from the 96 Degrees, the Green Album era. Mm-hmm. Was to use the same figures, the same sort of third world look. The lady on the donkey, the brother sitting down making his pottery. That was the whole idea of the whole thing. So, I mean, it's not something that we threw away. We did that in our albums for Chris Blackwell and Island. And then when we went to CBS, they just said, "Oh, you guys are good looking. You should take pictures." And we have to pay photographer how much $1 million to take picture away. And it's 2 days, man, I take picture, people are come with powder on them face and all kind of thing. And to be honest and realistic with you, we kind of lost that imagery over
Right.
those years. You know, I mean, but not complaining. I mean, people got to know us in terms of personally a lot more, maybe that way. So no complaints really. But at the end of the day, Damian said he wanted to go back for that look, and I think they did. I think they did a good job. You know, they went back and they got the little stick men playing football, the little river running down and thing. I think they did a damn good job. And personally speaking, for me right now, I'm very proud to be associated with that image. So, you know, I mean, what can I say? I mean, well done.
Well done. Well done. Well done's an understatement. It's beautiful. I'm gonna drop just a couple of song titles because I have my favorite joints before we even got to this. I'm gonna drop a couple of song titles and I just want you to speak on that song for me. 96 Degrees.
A top song.
Mad. Now, living in a world of uncertainty.
A top tune.
Committed.
A top record.
Try your love.
A top tune.
Now, why I ask about them tune there is because I keep saying it to the masses. I talk about this album day in, day out. I feel just the same when I hear them singing. They're very it's almost an oxymoron. It's modernly I'll say that from it's an oxymoron. It's modernly reflective. So when I listen to it, it's brand spanking new, but it's packed with nostalgia. It's third world, vintage third world in a modern era. I just don't feel like anything was left out. I don't know how you're able to capture that, but you were able to. So I just want to say from me and the masses watching, congrats, and not just congrats, but thanks, because Meno says a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and you didn't have to do it. So I appreciate it. I know they too. So I just want to say thank you very much, sir, and thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah.
And I want to tell you, I appreciate that so much, Brethren. And I want to tell you, thank you so much for having me on your show, Brethren. It is like it's a joy to be with you and to know that somebody is so bright on the whole issue of not only music but musicians and third world. That's a credit to you, sir. That's a feather in your hat. Thank you so much.
Give thanks. And what I'm gonna do right now, cause again, like me say, I look a bad man. You're Trill on them, but then at Jacksonville, I would trade it you in a heartbeat. So I'm gonna go give them some of this music. All right. Selfishly, I'm giving it to myself, but they just gonna overhear some stuff. So, but I want you to drop the social media info for the masses, the third world info, the Johnny Tiger info, the Cat Coore info, so they know where they can go and pick up what they need to go pick up. Just you've been talking to me. I'm gonna let you talk to them for a second.
Okay. So thirdworldband.com and Third World Band on Instagram. And if you go to thirdworldband.com, you can go to the merch store and you can get any Third World merchandise for 20% off through the month of August. Because the month of August is the month in which the band was born, and it's also the month of 1 year of more work to be done. So you can go there and you can buy any merchandise for 20% off. You do TW145 right there, or 345. I'm not sure what the code is, but if you look online, you will see the code. I don't want to tell you the wrong code. I might give you the wrong code. But you go to the merch store, and it will tell you what to do if you want to buy some merchandise. And I'm asking you guys to please support us in this time. And also, you know, the Ghetto Youth YouTube, you can go there, you can see, you know, a lot of content is there. As far as I'm concerned, it's a Facebook Stephen Cat Coore on Facebook. And you can also go on Instagram as well, Steve Cat Coore. And and we can talk, we can communicate, and we can exchange vibrations and feelings and what. I'm an accessible person, you know. I'm not thin-skinned and you can't reach me and everything. You can get in touch with me if you want. So that is what I would say to you, G Code, you know.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. And of course, what was it? 40, is this 40, the 47th anniversary, is it?
47th anniversary, yeah, 1973 to 2020.
Wow, 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 wow. 47 years of greatness, of stillness. And of course, them if they want to catch up on even some of the catalog itself and work their way up, them can do that too. You know what I mean?
Of
But
course.
and they'd be experiencing something phenomenal.
Yeah, man, of course they can. Because even when you go to thirdworldband.com, you can look back through all the albums and you can see little snippets of stuff and you can read little reviews and stuff. It's pretty well handled. It's handled by the great Heather Cameron. Big up Heather. I know you're watching everything. So I know how you stay. So
big up Heather.
Yeah, big up and yes, and big up to her, man, because she's really handled our social media and she makes people aware of all the things that are happening. It's very important now because, as I said before in the interview, the way in which we use these kind of platforms now, it brings us into people's homes. You know, it brings me into a lot of people's, vision and stuff. They can catch up with Cat and they can hear my thoughts and my reflections and the things that, have guided me through the years and have helped me in difficult times, and we all have difficult times. I mean, there's no question about that. So, and we're in a very difficult time right now.
Right.
But we're still strong and we're still giving praise to the Father, and we love who we are and where we are and what we are. G Code. Give thanks.
Yeah, man. And you have a lyric video. You just dropped a lyric video the other day, which is beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
I love it. So them can go YouTube and pull up everything.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, personally for me, I would just I sing the jingle already for you. So I would just say that boy, keep listening to G Cole and God bless you and all the best and all the rest and keep your vibrations strong in this time and keep listening to your third world music, because it's inspiring and it can help you through a bad time. And and God bless and all the best,
Give thanks. Give thanks. That being said, I'm going to go give them the medicine right about now. So give them, again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the time, the effort, the energy. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to share the message and the music with them right about now. And we will catch up when the world starts turning again.
Give thanks for brother and lots of love.
One love, family. Give thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mr. Stephen Cat Coore. It's Third World. We're going to drop some joints for you, all right?